Here we are then, back in the office, and we're here for some more F1 My Team. This one is the French Grand Prix, the returning French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. We haven't been here for a couple of years, and if you haven't seen the previous episode, the Canadian Grand Prix, go check it out, link up in the top right. And yeah, go watch it before we jump into potential spoilers, and if you're going to enjoy this one, leave a like and subscribe. But here we are then, as always, going through the activities before the race weekend. Also, taking on feedback from you guys from the last episode, I went ahead and just readjusted the helmet a bit more in terms of the colours, bringing them a bit more blue. I might still refine it a bit more. If I do, I'll show you, but I'm quite liking where the helmet is at right now. Worth noting, on the weather forecast, we have rain forecast for the race, and it looks like maybe at the end of qualifying with 49% chance right at the very end. So we'll see how that works out. Either way, we're going to approach it like a dry weekend pretty much, as that is kind of the predominant condition. And yeah, let's get into it. Here is, of course, a new helmet in action as we get ready to get out on track. First of all, though, setup, and you're going to see me make a couple of adjustments on the aero, also the suspension. We're going to soften up the springs and the anti-roll bar, also raising the ride heights to 4.8, especially around this circuit where there's so many of these flat curbs which are deceiving because you can easily get floor damage. So raising the ride height is critical. And then, of course, our brake pressure and tyre temp adjustments. Into Q1 then, and the end of our first lap in this session, hopefully good enough to move us into Q2 and also save a set of tyres. Up to the line we go, and it's going to be a 25.6, which is good enough for P8 at the time. I then went for a cool down lap, and we got pushed down to P13, so I had to go again. I went for a second push lap, and we were 2.5 tenths up, nearly 3 tenths up, but I absolutely messed up the back straight chicane. Outbroke myself massively when there was so much time to gain, and we ended up losing a full tenth. We're still a tenth and a half up, but we should have been like 3.5 tenths up, maybe even 4 tenths up at this point. So yeah, not really ideal. Nonetheless, we kept on pushing because I wanted to try and squeeze out an improvement and not have to use another set of tyres. And we kind of found time pretty much everywhere throughout the lap. And you can see here now 2.5 tenths up as we make our way into the final couple of corners, trying to make sure we don't mess up the lap. Through the final corner, accelerating on the curb there as we open up the DRS, and it's going to be just over a 2/10 improvement, and that will move us into the top 8 once again, and that's a 25.4 to our name. We went back to the pit lane, and you can see the gap to P16 is about 7 tenths. Verstappen and Aitken though down in P12 and P13, but crucially we were safe. So I didn't go back out, we called it a day, saved a set of tyres. Aitken got through, so did Verstappen, and so did we in P12. And the grid, pretty damn competitive, the top 15 covered by half a second. So yeah, with that said, we jump into Q2. Again, same objective here, to try and get through on just one set of tyres. So let's go for a full lap of Paul Ricard. Down into the first chicane, brake down to 5th, shift to 6th midway through 1 and 2. Use of the run-off curb as you try to carry the momentum on exit. Down the hill into turn 3. Unfortunately, we just attack it a bit too much and invalidate. So I ended up going for a cool down lap and again pushing for a second push lap. Now, unlike Q1, we went for the cool down lap on that same lap that we invalidated before. So essentially 2 back-to-back laps in many ways, as I had less fuel in the car compared to Q1. But still enough to squeeze a lap out, and you can see on the Delta, we were up by about 0.5 tenth in the second sector, and then eventually now the Delta has kind of, lost its true pace as we backed off at this point. So yeah, you're going to see now what we'll do lap time wise as we make our way through the final couple of corners here in sector 3. 25.4 is our reference. That's what we set in Q1 to get through, so we're aiming for that sort of lap time range. Up to the line we go, and it's a 24.9, which is a half a second improvement, a huge lap from us on a second lap, by the way, with a second lap tyre after that mistake on our first lap. Having said that, it was enough to get P2. You can see the gaps on screen. We had more than half a second in our pocket, and I didn't go back out. We were safe, and job done for us in Q2. Aitken out in P12, bit disappointing, but worth noting, the alternate strategy is quite powerful, so hopefully Jack uses it to full effect. Verstappen fastest with a 24.764, which is very strong pace. But now, in Q3, the skies were pitch black.
Looks like rain is inbound, and we're expecting it in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till the rain. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Now the skies were getting black. Rain is 5 minutes away, so it looks like we're only going to get one lap. So this is it. All or nothing at this point. Down to turn 1. Nicely done through there. Getting the car rotated over the curbs and using all the runoff. Now down to turn 3. We had trouble here in Q2. Let's try and keep it clean this time. There we go. To be fair, actually I missed the apex a little bit. It ran a bit too wide and lost a bit of time. Into the slow section though through here. We just run it a bit wide again and invalidate. So we instantly back off because we don't have time to get another set of tyres on. I call the tyres off and recharge the battery, and we're going to go again. Let's see if this time we can drop a lap time.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
And across the line, it's not quite enough. Verstappen, P1, we get second place, and we miss out by 11 one-thousandths of a second. It was that close. Ricard also right up there in the mix as well, less than a tenth away. And even Gasly, Stroll, Leclerc, all these guys really close in terms of pace. All these guys in the sub-25s. But Verstappen on pole, he went a fraction slower than Q2 with a 6.4, I believe, in Q2 and an 8.6 in Q3, but still, we delivered. I tried to drop a lap time. It was near enough perfect. 11 thousandths, you can always find that. And I do believe Sector 3 was a bit of a letdown. I didn't quite get the double right-hander as nice as I wanted to. And, you know, I think that could have been an improvement. Other than that, though, a decent qualifying, front row start, and fingers crossed we can try and take the fight to Max in the race.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Martinez completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Gasly, Lance Stroll and Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Bottas and Nicholas Latifi, Tsunoda, Aitken, Esteban Ocon and Giovinazzi, Ticktum, Lundgaard, and Guan Yu Zhou and Mick Schumacher, Eilert, Schwartzman, Mazepin and Nobuharu Matsushita. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
So here we are then, front row start for this race. P2 alongside Max Verstappen. Things are looking pretty decent. I'm confident as always about the race pace. I think strategy is going to be a really key part here. Who goes for 1 stop? Who goes for 2? That's going to be the deciding factor. We're going to try and go for 1. So the game has given us some options. They were absolutely terrible, so I've changed them myself. If we 2-stop, soft, medium, soft, but we have to account for the rain. That could arrive earlier. Option B, which is what I want to try and go for, is a 1-stop. Drag the soft tyre on as long as I possibly can. If I can get to like lap 10 or something, that'd be perfect. And then go for the hard tyre and take it to the end. So let's see what happens. Although, to be fair, having said that, a soft medium is doable. But because I put 2 laps on my soft tyre in qualifying, I'm not sure if that might make a difference in terms of me making it or not. So we'll see how it works out. Either way, rain forecast. So that could be a spicy element at some point in the race. Minimum fuel, as always. Let's get into it. Leave a like if you enjoy, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's do this. Let's dance. Hopefully, a fun race. 5 laps are on. And run away. Not the best start. Verstappen has a pretty average start, but it looks like we're going to hold on to P2 into turn 1. Nobody getting past. Quite rare that I don't lose places on a start. Normally I always get overtaken by 1 or 2 cars who get a flying start, but in this case we've held on quite nicely, so happy days. Now straight away I'll talk about it, but tyre temps are a concern, especially on this soft tyre, so staying in the DRS could be a critical factor in this race, so I need to try and make sure Max doesn't get away. Early doors, it looks like we're lacking a bit of straight line speed as Riccardo closing in on me here into the chicane. We're going to hold the line though and stay ahead, but it looks like at full power we're a little bit down on straight line speed, so we'll bear that in mind in terms of how the race goes. For now though, decent start. We've held on to Max, and actually Riccardo is now being passed by Leclerc, so it seems like Daniel trying to look for a move on me in that chicane has actually backfired on him, and now he's getting overtaken. The key thing here is Jack Aitken. I really hope he's going for the 1 stop. If he does that, it could be a great race for him, especially if the timing of the rain works out perfect. For now though, we're keeping Max in track. Sector 3 is our weak point, so we can manage our pace through there. We're going to be okay, and it looks like so far so good. Max has pulled away. Very, very strong second lap from Verstappen. Meanwhile, I'm overheating my tyres, which is not very good. Struggling quite badly to keep them under control. DRS will not be enabled, and we will be vulnerable to Leclerc.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Let's see if we can manage this, but Leclerc is a threat. Max is very, very quick in the last sector. I can't match his pace through there. I just lose like half a second.
Okay, if we continue to use fuel at this rate, then we won't have enough to reach the end of the race.
Leclerc up the inside. We'll run him out of road there and make sure we stay ahead, but this isn't over yet. Riccardo now getting in on the act. Pace isn't great at the minute. Partly down to tyre temp, so once we switch tyres we should be okay. What I want to do is ask for a weather update. Oh my god.
We think we may see some rain. ETA is about 15 minutes.
And there we go, we actually get one without even having to ask for it. Leclerc though coming back for more. I might pit early, you know, I might bail out. I can't manage the race pace of Verstappen on this tyre.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Copy.
I might pit this lap and just go for a set of mediums. We'll go for one more, but I will pit end of lap 5 and we'll go for a set of medium tyres.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
I've changed my mind again. We're going to go for the hard tyre. I think we might still overheat on medium, looking at these temps, so I'm going to play it safe. I'd rather have a tyre that I can push and lean on. Here we go. Great pit entry, nice and aggressive. Yellow flag just behind. I've just seen that flash up. That could be key. One of the Aston Martins. I wonder if that's just a spin though, rather than a retirement. Yeah, it looks like just a spin for now. Anyway, let's get the hard tyre on. Gasly in the pits with us, so hopefully it's a good stop. Otherwise we might get jumped here.
Go, exit now.
2.3.
Exit complete, go now.
Solid stop.
We'll be doing one more stop today. 1 stop left in our strategy.
Going to be just behind Ilott, who was the car that had the spin. So we'll try and pass him straight away. But yeah, this tyre will just allow us to push basically, and we can take this all the way to the wet phase, so no need to worry. Pace in these first 2 laps is going to be key, as pit stops might start at the end of next lap, I think. Let's try and clear Ilott though if we can here. Hoping to go very slow for the first sector to not run to the back of him, but we'll hopefully pass him here quite nicely. Here we go. We're definitely down on straight line speed this race, not as fast as we have been, but we'll go to the outside. Nice. There we go. A little bit of grip struggling at the minute on these tyres, but hopefully it will come good with the tyre temp once we warm them up a little bit. I've noticed Verstappen's in the pits. He's on pit exit right now. He's comfortably out ahead of us, so we're not really racing. Max is on mediums as well. Looks like everyone's going for the medium. I'm going to be the only car on the hard tyre, but we're trying something different strategy, so we'll see how it works out. Hopefully I can find some decent pace on these. Gap to Max is a little bit larger than there was before, but he's now stuck in traffic. More cars in the pits as we catch up to Mazepin now. Personal best, so decent pace. 28.0, fastest lap is a 27.7, so kind of justified in the tyre switch as I'm able to maintain this pace every single lap without overheating. Let's try and get Mazepin on the back straight here as we close into the RS range. Max in more traffic now as he closes into the medium runners. Crucial phase of the race here, we need to try and be quick to close the gap. We can get ourselves into this race. Personal best first sector, and we'll string it together with hopefully a personal best middle with some DRS. It's a bit of a long shot, this overtake. We're a bit far back from Mazepin, but hopefully it is a Haas, so we should have the legs over the Haas. Not the most time efficient overtake as we had to go to the inside and really compromise our line, but we're through and we're still on for a personal best in sector 2, so let's keep pushing. Gap to Max under 4 seconds.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
So that's that update. Looks like we're going straight to winters. If it rains enough, that is. Leclerc in the pit lane. He's gone very long on that tyre. Closing in on Max now. He's stuck in traffic. Well, Max has lost a whole heap of time battling with Matsushita. I wonder if he's got damage. He looked a little bit slow out of the previous right-hander. We'll see now. I think he's a bit slow. He looks slow to me. We'll confirm it now after this one. And once we get through Senior, this corner here is going to test it if it is true. Yeah, Max has got damage. Here we go. Game changer. Wing damage for Verstappen in wheel-to-wheel combat with Nobuharu Matsushita. So Verstappen will have to box for a new wing. That's going to give us the right to go through and take P1 in this race. There we go. Big moment. Now we're going to have to try and clear this traffic, hopefully without any issues. Onto the back straight, a little bit far back, but we should be within range to challenge. We'll try and force him to go defensive to the inside. So that opens up the outside line for us to just go straight past. There we go, lovely stuff. This is a pretty strong lap, this one. This could be our fastest lap. There we go then, this should be a new fastest lap with some DRS help. There we go, 27.6. A tenth faster than the previous fastest lap. But now though we've got traffic to contend with. Riccardo catching up behind, he's a threat. We'll see how quickly we can carve through this traffic. A couple of Williams to get through first of all. Zhou Guanyu is the first one, which we're going to get through straight away by just forcing our car and shoving up the inside. Schwarzman next up, a bit too far back on this straight to challenge, but we might be able to have a look out of the chicane if we can get close enough here. Let's see what happens. Let's stay on board here for a second. There we go. Nice, good exit. Let's try and get on the inside of Senior here if we can. Another one down. Schumacher next. Showing Verstappen how to get moves done in this race. Thought about going up the inside there, but we'll just hang back for now and be patient. And then Lundgaard will be pretty easy to pass once we get past Schumacher. Up the inside we go. Another one down. And then Lundgaard should happen on the back straight. I think Aitken's in the lead right now, so he's doing a good job looking at the minimap. Let's get Lundgaard though. This won't take long. Should happen on the back straight. There we go. Verstappen 27-0. Very strong lap from Max there. Responding and trying to fight back. We're going to breeze past Ricard. Up into P6. There we go.
Jack is in the pits. Jack in the pits.
Aitken pits, and so do the rest of the alt-strat runners. So we'll get a weather forecast update now and see what the rain situation is.
Looks like rain is inbound, and we're expecting it in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till the rain. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Well, there's the update then. Rain in 5. Shame Aitken didn't just go long and try to stretch it, but still. Let's see how this second part of the race goes. Bit of a moment there. Not sure what happened really, just the car got a little bit unsettled. Luckily we're still facing the right direction. Clouds are now forming. I'm focused on trying to save my fuel, but the rain will make that a lot easier, that's for sure. Russell, Gasly in the pits. Both McLarens have also pit in the last couple of laps as two stoppers start to make their move. The rain is only minutes away apparently, so it could happen any moment. But those pit stops is going to move Jack Aitken into the top 5, and he was P4, but Ocon has taken that away from him. So Jack put in another great shift. Hopefully now we get a bit of rain. If it takes any longer, Ricard Norris might two-stop it, and Aitken could be looking at a podium here. And there we go. It's raining. Right, let's see how this works out. Inters are selected, so we're ready to go. It's all about just watching the conditions now. Ooh. Uh-oh. Well, that's not great. I was worried about that whole weekend.
We think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious.
Okay, we'll see how it feels. Track is starting to go though. I'm having to take a few lifts now. Debating if I should just go in this lap, to be fair. Don't think so. I think there's still enough grip for one more. But it's rapidly deteriorating, but I can't tell now if this is because of the floor damage or because the track is genuinely getting worse.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Got that confirmed.
And there we go. The team resolved my doubts for me. Great timing, team. Excellent work. Right, in we go. Hopefully Aitken follows me and doesn't go out for another lap. There's plenty of time to get this double stop done, so hopefully he doesn't stay out. That would be absolutely ridiculous at this point. It would just throw away great points for us. Please pit, please pit. Yes, he does. Nice. Lovely. Right, let's get this quick stop done.
Jack is coming in for his stop. Go, go, go.
Where we go. Intermediates. Hopefully the pit crew reset and get ready for Jack in time when he arrives.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Right, back underway. Intermediates on our wagon. Let's get to work. Let's see if we can run a good pace on the wets. Should be okay. Usually our wet pace is stronger than our dry pace. Looks like Aitken has jumped Ocon in the pits as well, so Aitken up into net P4. We'd love to see it. And DRS disabled.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline.
Just got to manage fuel now. Got half a lap to save. Ricciardo 3.3 behind. He has definitely gained quite a bit on us. Just got to keep an eye on that gap. Here we go then, last lap of the race. I've been looking at the mini-map. Verstappen's had a horrible race. He's the next car ahead of Ilott. I think he's in P21. It's been a race to forget for Max. I'll try to show up on the replays what happened to him after the race, so there's no spoilers, but it's been a bad one for Verstappen here today, and it's been a great day for us. Aitken has lost P4 to Ocon on track due to battling with Schwartzman when he was on the dry tyre, getting in the way. So still P1, P5, good double points finish, and we're going to extend our championship lead in both championships. We'll take that. Great day.
Superb driving. That's the race win.
We've witnessed some great battles around Paul Ricard today, and they've taken a fantastic win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
I believe they call this a dub nowadays. So P1 for us, Ricciardo second, Lando third, Ocon P4 in his home Grand Prix for Alpine. Great performance from him ahead of Aitken, who finishes P5. Great drive from Jack, recovery from P12. Could have been P4, but I believe Schwartzman on the hard tyre in the rain got in the way and Ocon got past. So yeah, once the AI make moves in the rain, it's hard to get back past because without DRS, the AI make no overtakes around here. So yeah, still a good result, good double points finish. We extend that lead in both championships, so that is great for us. I want to see what happened to Max though, so we just go a bit further down. I want to see how many stops he made. Verstappen done 5 stops. Wow. I'll try and dig out all the incidents if I can, but he must have had a couple of issues and quite a few hits because my god, there's at least 40 seconds you could shave off that race time, and that would put him straight up in, yeah, P4. Crazy, really, battling for P4. So yeah, Max had a really poor race, and maybe signs of that he's panicking, he's stressing out, maybe he's struggling for pace. Lance Stroll setting the fastest lap, which was a bugged out lap time, 1 minute 6.3. Fair play. In the standings though, we're 40 points clear. It's been a great season for us. Ricciardo up to 4th, equal on points with Aitken, but on count back due to podiums, Ricciardo is ahead. But still, another good race for Jack and scoring points once again. Both cars in the top 5. Definitely the best we've ever had in a long, long time, since I think Rosberg was our teammate. Constructors, we're top and we're 40 points clear, so the same gap in the drivers and the constructors. So if we can try and keep that going, that's good to see. But we've got a bit of breathing room now, so we love to see that. But yeah guys, that is it for the race here today at Paul Ricard. I'm going to try and get this video edited all together really quickly to get this out tonight. So leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe for more. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes if possible. As always, a massive shout out to the members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And yeah guys, I'll see you soon. Until then, take care and it's goodbye from me.